It's a slightly different video today from Garden Grown Groceries. We're not at our backyard supermarket today. Instead, we're at our new community garden plot. Last year I had signed up for a plot at the community garden, but there was a waiting list, and a rather long one at that too. Now, I happened to be driving the other day, and I was thinking to myself, maybe I should call up again and see if I need to put my name on the list once again. Well, an hour later, the place actually called me and asked me if I was still interested in the garden. And I said, heck yeah. So went in today, picked up the paperwork, and I'm down here now finding out just what my plot looks like. A lot of different plots down here. And when I asked the woman in the office, like what the size of the plot was, there we are. She told me 6 by 6. And I was like, that's like not much, but it's something. I could have grown something in a 6 by 6 plot. Well, I got down here. It's not a 6 by 6. It's a 15 by 15. That's much better. So let me show you the Garden Grown Groceries extension garden. This is my new garden. It's this section here and these 3 beds. Now I can do whatever I want with this section just about. If I don't want these beds in here, I can tear them up. I can put more beds in. I think right now this isn't a bad setup. Obviously I have a little bit of work to do with it. I got to clean out the weeds that have been growing. And I want to check and see what the soil light is like underneath here. Looking pretty dry. Yeah, pretty dry. Now there are community hoses that we can use to water, so that's good. But they've got a lot of rules in effect. For one, I'm responsible for the maintenance of the pathway, half the pathway here. So all these weeds here, I need to clear out. And then I guess right up to here, so I got to clear out all these weeds too. Not sure I actually like all these weeds growing so close to mine, but we have to keep the garden paths clear. You can have fencing, as you can see, the neighboring plot has some fencing around, but you have to have a space to be able to walk in, because a climb over fence is considered a trip hazard, and you can receive a demerit for having that, and too many demerits and they'll take your plot from you. So one of the other requirements is I have to have 75% of this bed planted within 30 days. So otherwise they can rescind it. It does look like I've got some onions growing here though. So maybe we'll see what's going on with them. Looks like I got some vegetable, maybe a broccoli, that went to seed over there, but not much else. You're not allowed to have any invasive plants here. You can't have any trellises too tall. I think 5 feet is the maximum height. So I want to take a walk around and look at other people's plots and see how they're handling their gardens. And you're only allowed to have 1 plot. You can't get 2 plots or more. But there is the possibility I could get a half plot. They said there is a half plot available, and she's not sure that the woman's gonna take it up again. But she said if she doesn't, and I'm interested in it, I can have it. But so this is the new garden extension. Not quite sure what I'm gonna plant here, but I gotta get 75% of it planted in 30 days. Good thing I got those 5 vegetables I'm planting, because I guess they're going to be going in here. Well, this will be fun. It'll probably be a mad scramble to get something in here just for now. And then as next year comes, I can better prepare for it. If anyone has suggestions on best way to plant this garden, or what you think I should grow in this garden, leave a comment down below. I'm all ears. I've been looking to see what others have been growing, to get an idea to see what people find successful down here. And it just looks like a regular garden selection. Potatoes, corn, lettuce, peppers, tomatoes. You're also not allowed to have more than 10% of an area covered with a pollinator attracting flower. You're not allowed to really have flowers down here, but if they attract pollinators, you can, but no more than 10% of the plot can be covered. As I said, there's like 4 pages of rules and regulations to follow. One of the things I was considering doing is having a victory garden here. I've always liked the concept of the victory garden, and I actually have a lot of old 1940s pamphlets that discusses the victory gardens and lays out sample gardens. And I had one time planned on doing that in my backyard, but I abandoned that. I'm wondering if maybe this is the time to be able to do that. This could be an interesting concept here. I'm looking forward to it, but it does look like I got a little bit of work to do.
The next day.
Well, I've got the 3 small beds cleared up for the most part. Robins, grackles, and doves haven't wasted much time moving in to get the bugs I've dug up, but still have the main bed to go. It's pretty weedy, but the weeds actually come up pretty easy for the most part, so shouldn't be too much longer before we're ready to plant. I've got some seeds already in the ground waiting to go, and I found that we actually have a couple of strawberry plants here and a couple of berries already starting on them right there. And I have another strawberry or 2 over here. So I'll end up moving these plants to one area anyway. And maybe like right along this edge, I'll take these up and move them over and just have like a small little plot for strawberries. No sense in wasting them. The onions, the leftover onions that were growing in this bed, I ended up pulling them out. They were actually all rotting on the bulbs and stuff. There was one that had, looked like it had gone to seed. It had a bulb on top, but I pulled that up as well. I don't know what kind of onion it is. Don't know anything about it, so I'm gonna get rid of it. And I got plenty of onions at home. So we're half the way there, cleaning it up. But as I said, the bigger effort will be this here. There are wood chips that were down. I guess they had it as a mulch, but it was very thin and not very, I don't know, not very effective in suppressing weeds. So I'm pulling out most of that as I get to it.
One eternity later.
So I've got the bed pretty much cleared out. These 3 were done the other day, came back today, and it's mostly devoid of weeds as far as I can tell. I am going to be putting down my own dirt on top of this, my mix of compost, peat moss, and garden soil and topsoil. And that's what I'm going to be planting into. I won't be putting a layer over the top. I think I'm going to be doing just rows of vegetables here just for the fall, and I'll just make them rows out of the soil that I'll make. They have a path here, a wood mulch path. I found it. You can see a piece of plastic sticking out there. There's actually plastic laying right underneath here. So I decided to leave that mulch down. There was some crappy mulch, wood chips on there. Actually all over the top of the bed. I just didn't like it. It was kind of, I guess, what was there. And as much as I have wood mulch all over my backyard, it improves the soil. This doesn't seem to have improved the soil at all. My soil is really rich and loamy once you pull back the wood chips, so not sure what's going on here. So I pulled all the wood chips off. They're in a wheelbarrow right here. There's a thin layer anyway. So as I said, I'm going to be putting my own soil down on all these beds as I plant them. I think I found a potato just starting to sprout here. So I've got 2 potatoes plants at home. So I'm going to put them along the back. I'm going to move this strawberry maybe over to these with these strawberries. I got a few plants to go in. I'm going to be putting in kidney beans, navy beans, a few other things I've got. And then we'll see what I'm going to start growing. Yeah. So it's a 15 by 15 plot, as I said at the start. And right now it's divided in half between these 3 beds and this one wide open bed. Whether it stays in this configuration, I don't know, but we'll see. The community plot does offer some amenities. For one, this is a community plot wheelbarrow and shovel. So as long as no one else is using it, you're free to use it. First day I was down here when I was cleaning these beds up, I had a garbage can with no wheels and I was humping that thing around, which was pretty darn heavy. So it's good to know there's a wheelbarrow available, and there's also a garden cart way over there that can be used as well. There's also water. They got these hoses set up here, and that's nice because it's right across from my garden, so it'll make watering very easy. And that's about the extent of the amenities, but there are a few. I'm responsible for clearing up these weeds right along here. It's 5 feet from the edge of my bed, which means it's almost right up to the fence line. And it doesn't look like very many people take to that, but I will clear out my section. And then I gotta clear up this in the common walkway. I'm responsible for half the path and keeping it weed free. So I think I'm gonna come back with some vinegar and spray it all down. So this is an exciting new chapter in Garden Grown Groceries. And not only going to be trying to grow a supermarket in our own backyard, but now down at the community garden plot. And if you want to see what we were doing in the garden last week, check out this video right here. And then subscribe and hit that notification bell. And that way you'll be able to follow along on the progress on all of our vegetables, no matter where we're planting them. Okay, thanks for watching.